What's upcoming for your love? What's upcoming in your love? Predictions. Hello! I'm Zaman Rayri. I'm an Omnis Magic practitioner here on this platform. And as I've mentioned earlier, we are doing some love predictions in chaotic, energetic times. So before we start, if you're new to pick a card readings, first of all, this is my first ever one on this channel. Let's go. So if this is your first pick a card reading, how this is going to work is I'm going to have 3 options you get to choose from. You get to choose from 3 amazing options. And then these options, 1, 2, and 3, will be timestamped in the description or in the comment section, wherever it is down below. Just click it to skip to your reading and all that shazam. These are general reads, so don't take them seriously. If they resonate, they resonate. If they don't resonate, throw this out the garbo and go on your merry way, and I will see you next time. Oh, quick note, by the way, if you like my reading style of how I read tarot, please also check out my videos here where I start to teach about how I learn the tarot. I think this is where it's supposed to be. If I'm pointing in the wrong direction, just bonk me in the head or whatever. But yeah. But all right, let's get back to the reading. Option number 1, the unicorn. Option number 2, the frog. And number 3, the bison. Go ahead and pause if you need to kind of meditate or take some time on which one kind of resonates with you. And then go ahead and skip to the time stamps down below. And I will see you in a little bit. Welcome, group number 1. Let's see what love has in store for you. All right, well, there's these first 2 cards already popping off. Let's try to get 4. So what's coming up for you? Ooh, bench. Ah! And let's do the bottom. Okay, so the first 4 cards are the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Page of Swords in reverse. We have 2 court cards. We have 3 court cards, but we have 2 court cards that are going to be representing your space. Okay, so and then we have the Queen of Cups right side up, and then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse, which is actually a very good sign. So let's go over the Queen of Wands first and the Page of Swords. So personal situation right now, your personality, I feel like there's not a lot of confidence and courage in oneself. So for a lot of you guys who are single, who's watching this, and my group number 1s, we need to work on self-confidence, because when you boost up that self-confidence, attraction comes your way. You want to represent the person you want to be in a relationship with by also becoming that said person. Queen of Wands, when right side up, is someone who is a boss bitch, who is a boss lady, boss man, whatever it is, boss binary, who just expresses just amazing attitude in a good way and can be very, very sexy, if you know what I mean. But we're out of our element, and since the Queen of Wands is actually present, you're probably good looking and you're just not seeing that for yourself. You're probably at this point where you can probably practice glamour magic and you'd be set. All right. And then we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So Page of Swords is someone who speaks their mind and doesn't, it reminds me of the fool who wishes to speak in poetry, right? But just feels like if you say it out loud, you're gonna sound dumb. honestly, you need to have a little bit more confidence in yourself, because I feel like a lot of what you want to say or bring out, bring to words, to voice out in general, is probably going to impress a lot of people. Probably the person that you want to attract in your life, in your love life, is going to really want to hear your voice, want to hear your opinions, your thoughts. And don't be afraid to share that. You know what I mean? Like, these are personalities that are inside of you, or that you are capable of, but right now you're not willing to take that out, and you got to be a lion. You got to roar that shit out. You got to roar it out, you know? But here, Queen, the Queen of Wands, and a Page of Swords. But yeah, you're more than capable of this attitude, this energy, because they came out of, even though they're reverse, it just means that it's about time. It's you need to bring her out. You need to bring them out. Whoever you are, you need this to bring this energy out when you start going out, dating, or starting to get attracted to a certain person. Which, by the way, let's go into who your next love or soulmate or whoever it is that may pop up coming forth for your space. All right, so we have the Queen of Cups, and then we have the Ten of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Cups is someone who, I think your next person, or the person upcoming for you in love, is someone who expresses just nurturing emotions, and someone who wishes to also nurture what you feel, which makes a lot of sense that you should be sharing this and not being afraid to bring out you, to bring out what your thoughts out, no matter how weird you think it is. Because granted, they might actually think you're fascinating and you're interesting. And with this person, I am going to say I am getting a really divine feminine vibration from this person. Even if you're like masculine, or like you're a divine feminine yourself, I really feel like this individual that's gonna come up for you is just the expression of love and romance, comes from a really, really warm place in their heart. And I think that's going to be really amazing, because you've probably needed this for a while, for someone who might have really trouble expressing themselves. This is a person who's going to help encourage you to be brave about how you feel and be comfortable in that you're enough, honestly. So Ten of Swords is also a person who just probably got out of a really toxic mental state, which is really, really, really awesome. The next person you're going to probably come up of, I'm going to talk about people who are currently in a relationship too, but right now for my singles, my single ladies, or my single men, or my single non-binary, or my single whatever in betweens, I love all of you. Anyway, my singles, the next person too that's gonna coming up for you, man, my words, the next person who's coming up for you it also just came out of probably something really, really dramatic as well. I'm getting a sense like maybe they might talk about their family. Family was really, really important to them. Like I mentioned, I am getting like a divine feminine energy, whatever they represent themselves. I'm getting that divine feminine energy, and it's really, really recent, which means they had to either nurture someone recently. I wouldn't be surprised if they also have a lot of they're involved with children, whether they already have kids. I know that may be a shocker for some of you, but the feeling I'm getting is either the person that you're about to meet may have kids, or they work with children, like a daycare, or they work at a school as a teacher, or they have a lot of children in their family, and their motherly nature, which you don't have to be female, like I said, divine feminine energy, that nurturing vibration is really coming forward, because I feel like they have a lot of interaction with children, which is a really cool thing, because if you can work with children, that's a cool plus. If you don't know how to work with children, it's well, that's okay. If you don't know how to work with children, you can work it out, you know what I mean? But it's not that serious. But I'm really getting the vibe for the first group is that your person has a lot to do with like working with an environment that involves children, and that they're really good communicators. They learn a lot from children as well. And so they might have gotten out of a situation where they might have had arguments about child care of some kind, or there was someone they were helping that was child related, which is really specific and interesting. But even if it wasn't a child themselves, they could be working with someone who's also disabled, or someone who really needed to pick me up, and or someone who needed to work with their inner child. And this person is someone who just got out of helping someone of that degree, and they're probably going to share that to you at some point. And yeah, 10 of Swords is helping someone release that stress, that anxiety, and feeling really successful and feeling very accomplished. And I really love that for you. And I think that you are really going to need that type of energy to also encourage you to be someone that you've been holding on to for a while. Like I said, you are a boss bitch. You are a boss person. You are this energetic vibration that needs to come out. And it's just, for whatever reason, I'm feeling that shy energy, and or feeling like you're not worthy enough, even though you are. You have a lot of great things to say. And I really do think you guys will connect in such an emotional level and an energetic level that you just need to give that a chance, or you need to give yourself a chance in order to be able to have this amazing communication and relationship with this person that may be coming up for you. All right, now let's see what other cards in the past, because I like analyzing the past too, to see if there's any useful information that might help your present situation. Ooh, oh. Okay, we have all reverse cards, which means whenever I pull cards in reverse for like the past in the past section, I usually have to pull 2 more cards because it might go deeper than that, which means there's a lot of what you can learn from your past. Ooh, okay. That can be brought forth as an advice when you meet this person in general. Okay, actually, before I go into that, let me go into my couples real quick. If you are in a relationship with someone, and this is the person you are currently, have the courage to speak to your person, to speak to your partner, because your partner's really open to hearing what you have to say. Like, I understand the situations that you may be going through may be really, like, you might be doing trauma work again. You might be going through a situation where it's not necessarily you that's in the center of attention, but it might be involving someone that you love. And once again, for those of you guys who have a partner, this is really mostly for you, is if you need help, don't be afraid to ask your partner for help or guidance, because I really think they're emotionally smart enough to help you and guide you. It's just, I know that the subject may be touchy, but take one step at a time, and know that when you ask for your partner's help, that nothing can be solved in a day, you know, and take things one step at a time with your partner. But what I really do love is, oh, by the way, even if you're coming up into a new relationship as well, this could also be you too. Yeah, the main picture here is, don't be afraid to share your thoughts and feelings with the person that you're about to be in a relationship with, or you're currently in a relationship with, because I think you'll have a better perspective or a new understanding of your current situation, whoever group number 1 is, because you really need to bring that out. You need to really bring out the person you've been holding back on, like, or the other words that I can really vibe with, the words that I'm trying to kind of like explain this person is someone who's closed off right now. But I know you have the energy. You have the energy to be explosive and spontaneous. It's just, I would really understand if something has like if you were doing trauma work or something kind of just brought you down. I will say, for those of you guys who are experiencing this, my singles and or those with partners, this is temporary. Okay, we didn't get any major arcana cards. Usually for me, when I'm reading them as Damon Riri, that usually means like, oh, this is gonna last for a while. But I want to guarantee to you guys, like, if you're going through a rough time, it's temporary and you can get through this. And the next relationship that you're gonna come up to is gonna be really refreshing and emotionally beautiful. Okay, so what are some things you can learn from the past that you can bring forth for this new relationship or current relationship? So we have the World in reverse. Ooh, look at the pretty card. Look at a pretty card. Look at a pretty card. The World. Ooh, 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 ooh. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Oh, we have 2 major arcanas. Sheesh. Sheesh. Come on. Boop. Boop. And then we have the 4 of Cups. And then, since they were all in reverse, I pulled 2 more cards to represent even deeper levels of the past to help you in this situation. We have the 2 of Swords and then the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, so we're going to go into these 2 cards first. The 2 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, we're really picky, group number 1. Ooh, okay, you know what this reminds me of? Whenever we get infatuated with a person, try not to second guess yourself. You know what I mean? Because it seems like you plant your seeds, but you never take the actions to do it. I think we have I'm getting the vibration that these are some passive signs. So I'm getting a sign of like Gemini. I said Gemini. So we might have some Gemini vibrations, but I'm also getting like Pisces vibration and also, ooh, I'm getting Virgo as well, where we put out so much of our energy, except it's all in our head. We put out all that energy and it was stuck in our head. It didn't even come out of our mouth. And then you're exhausted and then you psych yourself out to having these awesome like communication and new relationship and new soul connections because you psyched yourself out in a weird fantasy world in your head, right? Like 2 of Swords is trying to decide what to say, but instead you didn't say it out loud. And then thinking that you did all the work, but it was all in your head. You set yourself up for failure. Why? Why would you do that? Just take the risk, right? We have the Page of Swords. You are more than capable of saying everything that's inside your head with new people. Because like I said, I do think that you have something really, really important to say or really, really smart and flirtatious things to say. You just need courage to say it. You know what I mean? Group number 1. So think of the time in the past where you've done this and you were like, holy macaronis, I should have said this out loud. It would have been a fun, great time. And yeah, well, you're going to have to do that more. You're going to have to practice that more in order for you to get closer to this person coming up for you. And then what are the deeper levels into this? So we have the High Priestess, which means your intuition is actually probably spot on, but it's in reverse, which means you aren't depending on your intuition. You have a lot of swords too, right? So instead of something about intuition is that you don't know the full facts, right? I talked to my friends about this. Intuition is only one part of communication. The thing is, you are not a mind reader, right? You're not a mind reader. So my example for you on this matter is you may be intuitive with what's going on, but you still need to ask questions. You still need to ask questions. Like, what are you like? Are you into me? I'm getting the feeling that you are uncomfortable in my space, or I'm uncomfortable in the space and I don't really know why. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. I think they'll be very understanding. All right. Your intuition is very spot on, but you also need to ask questions out loud because it will be very helpful, and we are not mind readers. All right, so the World card in reverse is having a little bit more gratitude, but also the World also talks about limitations and boundaries, which means one of the things that may need to come up when you do meet this person is talking about your boundaries. So I'm getting a sense that for either my single, I think this applies to both my singles and also my, if those of you guys who have partners or about to be in a relationship, I think a lot of you guys have already experienced a lot of betrayal and, or like, I feel like some of you guys have experienced getting cheated on as well. And I can understand why the World is in reverse. See, the thing I love about like tarot reading is when the card appears, they appear as their right side up. But if it's in reverse, it just means like maybe they just slept on the wrong side of the bed, but they're still the same person, right? So the World is still about boundaries, limitations, but also gratitude for the things that you are and are going or are becoming, not going to become, but are becoming. So for a lot of you guys, what did you learn? Something you need to ask yourself is, what did you learn from a past relationship you've had? Now, if you've never been in a romantic relationship, what was the last friendship, family relationship that you had a feeling of betrayal? And ask yourself, because this is going to be really helpful for the next person you're about to meet, is ask yourself, what can I learn from that past relationship that I can move forward into this relationship? Which means like you can ask questions about this, or you can share like, these are some things that kind of still trigger me. This is a lot about communication and how to communicate with another person and another partner, because it seems like your partner's willing to hear you out, right? So everything in your past is encouraging you to learn from all the times you didn't say anything, but then argued with yourself in your head and your subconscious on your own. And then you get mad and you behave, you use your behavior that is based off of everything that you thought of subconsciously. So now you're gonna have to challenge yourself to say these things out loud in a healthy manner, right? And then we have the Four of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups in reverse. In general, the Four of Cups is about like really contemplation, like self-thinking, self-analyzing. Once again, like everything in your past talks about everything you should have said out loud, but you never expressed out loud when you should have, right? Four of Cups is letting that go, letting things be released, getting resolutions, relief of the past relationships that does not apply to this new one, right? We need to let that go. We need to learn to, this is going to be really hard because I also struggle with the word and the practice of forgiveness. Whew! Now, obviously, forgiveness is a long journey, but it is something you need to learn to consider thinking about. And even asking like this person, and when they come up, like, what are their thoughts on forgiveness? Like, I really do think that the next person that is going to come up for you in love is just someone you can be open with, someone you can ask these really interesting and deep questions that will strike as something that will be a healing journey for both you and them as well. So that's what the past had to say. Let's see what moving forward with this relationship will bring for you, group number one. My shuffling is not so great sometimes. Oh, we got another major arcana, which is a really, really good one. So what is coming up for this relationship? Oh, that is such a good sign. We love a good Eight of Swords in reverse. Hello. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, perfect. Ooh, and perfect. I love these. My goodness. Okay, so we do end up with we have a lot of reversed cards here. And then we have the Hermit card. By the way, to me, reversal cards are not that bad. They're actually quite amazing and beautiful. Okay, so we're actually going to go into the Page of Wands first, because we did have a page in your reading, or in your first part of the reading. So Page of Wands into the Hermit, and I love showing off the major arcanas. Boop bop diggity boop 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 boop. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Ooh. Sorry, my bad. We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have Justice in reverse. Okay, so Page of Wands, what's upcoming for when you do meet this person? How is it going to progress? Page of Wands, so you were with the Queen of Wands, and then we go into the Page of Wands, which means this is going to be super new and awkward in the beginning, and that's okay. That's how usually things are. Be okay with awkwardness. It is an experience that can be very fun, and at the end of the day can be really, really funny. But don't be afraid to don't be afraid to act like a fool, because once again, the pages are very, very Fool energy. They stem from the Fool card, and with this is just making silly expressions, having weird dances. I don't know if you randomly sing, but I have a feeling that whoever picked group number one people, I feel like you're the type of person who just randomly sings, and sometimes you're not even conscious of it, or randomly do like little jigs or dances. Some of you guys might have like explosive energy that needs to be expressed, so do that. Don't be embarrassed to do so, because I feel like they're gonna think it's really cute or like really, really fun and interesting. It'll probably teach them how to also do the same, because your person is very emotional and also highly mentally motivated. But one of the things that you can express and help them in their journey is being able to express creativity and your joy, and the little quirks that you do, because I really do think that that's something they need to learn from you. And then the Hermit card is solitude. So as I've mentioned before, that you guys are really this group one is really focused on like having better communication and exploring your communications through emotional healing, emotional like expression, deep levels of inner child like expressions. So you guys are going to go pretty deep into that Hermit and going back to that journey of when you felt lonely and alone. I think both of you will. And it's going to be really enlightening, right? The Hermit is someone who learned a lot from their journey and reveals that their journey wasn't that bad. Like the hike was probably really atrocious, because this man is an old man, right? Like it's an old dude. And he had to walk up like this mountain, and his knees were probably like shaking. Like the journey was very hard, but he learned a lot from that journey, which I think is the same for you and your person and either your current relationship or the one coming up. So don't hold back. You guys are going to bring forth a lot of enlightenment together, just by going through that expressions and sharing in general. together. And then Eight of Swords is going to be really releasing. Eight of Swords right side up usually talks about like self limitations, limiting yourself, thinking once again you're not feeling like you're not worthy. But when you're with this person, you're going to feel like you can do anything. You can put anything you put your mind to, which by the way, you can do that now. But once you meet this person, you're really going to feel like you can, like the world is limitless. You can put anything you put your mind to. You're gonna want to start wanting to go to the gym, maybe start being active, going hiking or something like that. I was mentioning like climbing mountains, and then the Page of Wands is kind of like a climber as well, which is kind of cool. But I really feel like that gave me an idea of like date options is like probably going out into nature, since people who really love conversations and emotional expression really do well outdoors in dating. So yeah, I would highly suggest like looking at your local like hiking places, maybe campgrounds, gardens. I think this would be really stimulating for both of your emotions, your brains, and like your brains, and just feeling the vibrations of the environment in a safe space, where nature can also be a part of that as well. But yeah, you guys are gonna feel really relief, and just feel being accepted without having to change who you are, right? Which is really cool. Or having to change for the person. It's just you're gonna feel right at home, and you haven't felt that in a while, so that's gonna be really fun. So we have the Ace of Pentacles as well in reverse. So Ace of Pentacles is probably one of the challenges. Well, I feel like Ace of Pentacles and the Justice card in reverse are going to be the challenges you guys will have together, because in all romance and all love relationships, regardless if it's platonic, romantic, friendship, family, you name it, they're gonna have challenges, and that is what proves to you if the relationship is going to make it or break it, right? So some of the challenges that may come up for you guys is the Ace of Pentacles, Justice card in reverse, both of them in reverse. Ace of Pentacles is probably finances. You probably both suck at keeping track of money. It's okay. It's a journey. It's definitely something you guys will figure out together. So I feel like a lot of group one, you guys are going to learn how to figure out like how to deal with money together and like finances, because I feel like you guys will go on a lot of dates. And this is probably why I was suggesting going out into nature, because that's usually free. So I would say in the beginning of the journey of getting to know each other, try to avoid going into too many restaurants or going to too many places that you have to pay for. If there's ways that you guys can share, please do. Like, don't just let the other person just pay. I know you guys are gonna be like that. Like, one person's like, I'm gonna pay. No, I'm gonna pay. No, I'm gonna pay. Try to convince each other that you guys should have, and it's okay. It's okay, because you want to both be invested in this relationship together. So it's okay if you guys share the tab. All right. But yeah, I really do feel like one of the challenges you guys are going to go through in the very beginning of your journey is finances, which is going to be really funny. But the next thing too is justice, which means a bunch of like karmic events that you might have had in the past coming forth as topics. So what I'm seeing here is a lot of the traumas you might have had with like betrayal. I think both of you guys have had history with that. So those are some things you guys are going to go into a challenge, not together, but something you're going to learn is that you guys might project your triggers sometimes. And remember, this isn't a bad thing. This is like I said, what you guys need to do, or what will most likely happen, is communication is key. Please, 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 please express and talk about your feelings. Like, the question that's going to be really important during this time is, why are you I noticed that you're feeling different than usual. Is there a story behind that? I would love to understand that. I don't want you to just be triggered and I wouldn't know what to do in that situation. I want to be of help. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a really, really interesting, and as weird as that sounds, it's going to be a fun journey, and a journey where you're going to learn a lot about not just the person, but you as a person. And that's going to be magical. So yeah, some of the things in the past might come up for both of you, not just you, for both of you. And what really needs to work out is the fact that you guys need to ask questions about each other's feelings and letting each other express that, so that you guys understand. And the great thing about this person is going to be a healing journey with you, along with them to you as well. So, or your current partner too. Like if there's past like triggers that you've had before that you've never really had the chance to go over to talk with someone that you actually trust, I do think that your partner is there and willing to help you in the situation. Excuse me, in the situation as well. That was group number 1. That was a lot. That was a lot, but good luck. I love you guys. Let me know down below in the comment section, like your thoughts and feelings. Did it resonate? Was that in alignment with you? Is this already happening? And remember, if this was in alignment with you, check down on my links down below for any other places you can find me, my other socials, if you want to connect with me as well. My website down below is for personal readings too. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you ended up here, and for that I thank you for this blessing. I hope and pray that you learn something new and valuable with us, and overall I hope you enjoy your stay here. Hello, group number 2, welcome in. This is your reading for what's upcoming in your love. I don't know why it took that weirdness in my speech to say that properly. Hold on, we're putting this shit back. Too many cards. So we're gonna try and pull out our first 4 cards first and see what's happening for you. Ooh, okay. Ooh, interesting. Oh boy. Okay. What's funny is in group 1 we also had the Page of Wands, and I believe it was also in reverse too. This is mirroring the first group, because the first group was the 10 of Swords in reverse, but you guys in group 2 have the 9 of Swords in reverse. So that's pretty crazy. Group number 2. All right, so we have the Tower right side up. And I like to give you guys kind of like a zoom in on this camera too, on my major arcanas. And then we have the Page of Wands in reverse. Then we have the Star card in reverse. Ooh, interesting. And then we have the 9 of Swords. Okay, so this is going to be talking about presently, your present situations, where you're coming from, where you might be at before the significant other pops in, or where your current significant other, if you have a relationship with someone right now, may be currently at. So we have the Tower card, which I know for a lot of people is like, yikes. But for me, your girl loves the Tower card. One of my 2 favorite cards is actually the Tower and the Hanged Man, for reasons not going to be described here today. But for the Tower, we also have it next to the Page of Wands in reverse. So we might be coming into a place where a lot of the chaotic energies are definitely coming down to help crash your structures and your routines, because your routines are probably not working for you anymore. And the Page of Wands is trying to figure out a new kind of excitement. So you might be going to a place where you're just not excited anymore. So I'm getting the word boredom is a really big part of your life right now. So maybe you might be bored with all the relationships coming in or in the past ones as well. So what I would say to tear down this tower, because the goal of the tower for me, whenever it's like a really powerful and like intense energies, I always like to reverse the card. Like the goal for me, particularly when I'm reading these types of cards, is to reverse the card. Similar to how I'll describe the Nine of Swords. We love the Nine of Swords in reverse when I'm reading it. So since the tower is currently right side up, you may be going through a really, really tough time. And what's interesting is that the tower usually means that you're not the only person involved in the situation. Usually the tower means that a group of people in your life, including yourself, are being affected by the same situation. So what I would say is either step away from the situation so that you can kind of just analyze the situation before you make any sudden moves. And with the card of boredom is or tired of life, honestly, and tired of I have a feeling that a lot of you guys in group 2 have a habit of just staying indoors or staying at home, and we like being cozy. And I mean, I totally understand being at home is kind of a vibe, but I would encourage you guys to challenge yourself to explore outdoors in some way, because the Page of Wands is in reverse and it's wanting some kind of new excitement, new energy. And this could also explain maybe you need some clearing of maybe some stagnant energy. I would encourage cleaning your room, cleaning your space so that new energy can come in. So like if you want new vibrations to come in, if you want a little bit more motivations to come in your life, you need to ask yourself like what's currently holding you back, what's certain things what are certain patterns that you're just not letting go. And all of that is just saying you need to learn to think outside the box. The same decisions are gonna blow up in your face, and it's going to continue to do so if you aren't open to change, right? And I know change is really, really hard, but the tower needs to come crashing down. And a lot of the times the best way to let a tower crash down is to step back and kind of sometimes take yourself out of, not necessarily, well, you could definitely do it physically, but also try to visualize the situation outside, like you're outside. Kind of like astral projection, like you're astral projecting yourself out of it and kind of seeing like, all right, what's the current situation of my present life, right? And how can I see a place where I can have my peace so that I can enjoy life? Other things about this as well trust me, this is going to be really important to know when your love comes in, when your love is about to come in, because this is the vibe you're probably going to be secreting out of your pores, right? And I want to give advice to you before the love comes in, because they might have something to tell you or share with you and make some kind of like bond with you. But other things about the tower is I'm seeing a book here, which means maybe contemplating about going back to school, college, learning new knowledge. And it doesn't necessarily have to be books. You can be online classes, online schooling, and it doesn't have to be an official school. It could just be taking courses in something you've been interested in, right? So what that tells me is that the person that might be coming into your life might be in a school or educational environment, or you might meet them in a place where you are either learning or teaching, or you guys go to a convention where someone is trying to teach you like some type of craft. So the reason why I mentioned earlier, like some of the people in group 2, we like to vibe in the house and we don't like to get out. Well, it seems like if you go out to either go to a convention or school, some type of schooling, you might meet your person. So yeah, you're gonna have to learn a new hobby. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a forever studies. It could literally be for the Page of Wands, because pages, I've mentioned before in group 1, is attached to the Fool, and the Fool loves to explore, have new adventures, something spontaneous. We want to bring this right side up, right? So it might portray to a hobby you might not be investing in, and that you should give a try, right? So that's what's going to prep you into seeing or meeting your new person. So who is your new person? And I'll talk about those who are in a relationship, if you are in a relationship or about to enter a relationship. But for right now, where are my single people at? Where are my only singles? Singles only? Words. My singles only. All right, anyway. Group 2, the person that's coming in is coming from a lot of stress relief. I wouldn't be surprised, because we have the Star in reverse and we have the Nine of Swords in reverse together for your person. I wouldn't be surprised if they recently had like a loved one that passed away. Whether it be recent or they've been reconnecting with their ancestor working, so they could be somewhat spiritual or going through a really deep inner working when it comes to like a past loved one. And I'm getting a really big sense like, yeah, they might have lost a person in their life. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to involve death. It could involve like someone recently passed, is passing their relationship. What I mean by that is like maybe they had to let go of some toxic relationships, and just because you leave toxic relationships for good reason doesn't mean it does, like, your feelings aren't still like in a grieving moment. So your person might be in a place where they're still grieving or healing in a place of relationships coming and going, and especially the going part. Some of you guys might be going through a place where, for the singles out there in group 2, they might have recently gone through a breakup, and they've been releasing all of the things that they realized were toxic parts of that relationship, and starting to finally find a middle ground where they like where their mind is and their mental health is currently at. So they are still in a place of healing, in a very sensitive place. So what I'm seeing here presently is that if you guys end up meeting each other in a place of education and learning, I think the best communication when you guys meet each other or come together, my singles, is conversing about new ideas, hobbies, things that you like doing both individually, and sharing the things that you probably both will enjoy. But definitely one of the other things that I'm seeing here that you guys might vibe with, I've mentioned this in group 1, since the Page of Wands kind of also expresses travel or hiking or going to a mountain or high tops, going and exploring about, I don't know why this popped up, but mushrooms, learning about like learning about herbs, learning about like different types of mushrooms. Maybe some of you guys know what I mean by this, but I'm not gonna say it, but some of you guys know what that may mean. Exploring, and I did mention astral projection. So I think, and I mentioned that this person might be somewhat spiritual, like the person coming into your life might be a spiritual person. So you're putting 2 and 2 together, you never know. You might be like learning a bunch of the stuff and being educated about that scenario. Another thing that I'm kind of like realizing about the education that may be involved, and this could also be with some of the couples or people who are in a couple relationship. Words. Those of you guys who are also in a relationship and my singles, you might be exploring like a spiritual meditation together. It may involve mushrooms or other herbs. You never know, but I'm not a professional in that, but that also could be a very educational, spiritual expression that you guys might do together, which is interesting and fascinating. So that might be another step into the journey for a lot of the couples. And then for the singles, you guys might come across like going through like a spiritual journey together, and that's some of the things that you guys are learning about. That doesn't necessarily mean you guys are practicing in that, but learning about the effects, and just because you find it very, very neat. But yeah, I do think that the person coming into your life, or a new love, is coming from a place of healing, especially from a recent like either breakup, death, passing, or doing ancestor work. Then they're doing past life regression, working, and any of that sort. I just really feel like whoever's coming into your life is probably somewhat spiritual in some way. And they might not necessarily say that they are spiritual, but they are exploring kind of like spiritual concepts. But yeah, so when you guys come together, it's going to be funny enough. The alignment you guys are in is that you guys are coming from a very hard time of your guys's both of your lives, and in coming together, because it just seems like it's the perfect time to be able to share your thoughts, feelings, and also the biggest thing is to learn from each other. I feel like you guys have something to teach each other because of the present experiences that you may be going through. And it's now, it doesn't necessarily have to be present right now. This could be like in the near future, and whatever present that is like happening during that time of like chaotic times, because I know during this reading is also very, very chaotic. But I'm getting a sense like some of you guys are like a little bit further, maybe 3 months from when you watch this, group number 2, 3 months from now, that you might come. I know that sounds kind of scary, but trust me, you're going to come from a place of meeting someone who's really, really beneficial for both parties. And you guys are going to learn new knowledge and growth. And most of all, you're both going to share some type of healing together, which is really cool. All right, let me go ahead and see what are some past cards that we can learn from to give a little bit more advice on this meeting and this gathering of two beautiful souls, group 2. Also, while I'm shuffling, for those of you guys who are a couple, yeah, that's too many cards. For those of you guys who are a couple, for the Star and the 9 of Swords, if your partner may have been going through a rough time with the things I've mentioned earlier, which is not necessarily a breakup, but like one of their family members like either leaving, or like I mentioned, like a loved one passing away, or I heard for some of the couples out there, your partner might have lost their job recently, so it's kind of hard to figure life out without a job. It might be kind of like a traditional, not traditional, but like what sometimes for cultural is the word I was looking for. So I'm going to use myself as an example. Sometimes certain cultures, not necessarily all cultures, but from experience from my personal culture, I'm Filipino, and from my personal experience, sometimes family don't see you in a really good eye if you don't have a job. And I feel like that's kind of a similar vibe. They don't necessarily have to be Filipino, but I feel like it's the same experience where it's not necessarily because their family is currently projecting that on them, but because they grew up, your partner may have gone through or grown up in that type of situation. This could also apply to all the singles as well, that may apply to the person coming up for you as well, is that they do have, like I mentioned, they're doing some past life ancestor work, and one of the traumas that may be popping up for them is like cultural like views that have been ingrained in them that they're learning to heal from, and they are healing from, and it's still a journey for them. Okay, cool. So let's see what the past has to say. And by past, I mean like maybe there's something in your past that may help this situation, and we might have an advice coming forth from that. So we have the 8 of Pentacles, and then we have the Lovers in reverse. Okay, so this group 2, this is definitely a very big like soulmate connection. I don't know if it's like a twin flame relationship, but I definitely want to say this is a completely like soulmate vibration meant to be kind of meeting. We have the lovers. Oh, the lovers, major arcana, boop bop diggity boop boop. Look at that. That is a pretty card. I might have to censor part of the card. It's fine. I can do that in like edit. But Ace of Pentacles in reverse as well. You know what's funny? I think this card also popped up for group 1. That's so interesting, but it didn't pop up in the past reading. It popped up in like the future, like how to move forward with the relationship. But anyway, we have a lot of pentacles involved. Oh, just want to say too, group number 2, both you and your partner have a major arcana and then a minor arcana that follows forward. So that's, you guys are definitely in alignment, which kind of is interesting because the lovers is the one anchoring the reading. So kind of like, once again, this might be a soulmate, or don't take it too seriously. It might potentially be a twin flame relationship, or just a, not relationship, but just twin flame in general. That could be really deep already, and why it would make sense why this is a lot of what's happening might mirror the situation. But anyway, let's see what we can figure out in the past. 8 of Pentacles. Okay, and Ace of Pentacles. So it's funny because I was mentioning earlier is that you guys might come from a place of education, and in the past it seems like you guys had a lot of either many options about like career that you've wanted to pursue, but the feeling is now, I feel like I need to do a different type of career path, or I want to pursue something new and different. Because in the past you guys are really hard workers. Both you and your partner, not, well, yes, for those who have a partner, and also for a lot of the people who your person that's coming in, you guys are really hard workers when you put your mind into. So some of the signs that I instantly got in my head, like that popped up because of the 8 of Pentacles in general, is like Sagittarius, Aries. Ooh, Aquarius popped up in my too. So like just creative people, like absolutely people who are like, the moment they're motivated, they are highly motivated and continue to do the work. So it's really, really cool. When you put your mind into it, you can do anything. That's just a reminder right there. Like anytime you like go back to a place, not to a place, but like go back to one of your memory banks, your toolboxes of your memory, or even like your journal. If some of you guys journal, go back to a past like blessing that you were grateful for, about like, oh my gosh, I was successful in achieving this blah 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 blah. I think you need to reread it because it might apply to the situation. That success is very attainable, and ooh, that's a really good one. Success is very attainable. So you guys may be coming from a place of failure, or feeling you might have failed either yourself or other people, right? But in the past, like your spirit guides, your spirit team is asking you, like, remember that time you succeeded on this thing. Some of you guys, it's that is so funny because I was talking about like I'm Filipino, and then I'm getting like a, I don't know if any of you guys made like an arts and crafts like parol. I don't know if any of you guys even know what that is, but it's like a Christmas ornament. But definitely something creative in this sense. So when was the last time you were creative? And for those of you guys who are saying like, I'm not creative at all, when was the last time you've written something, or thought of poetry, or thought of something smart to say, or like wise words to tell a person? Because that can be really, really creative as well. But the time and effort you've done in any career and job as well has proven to you that you can be very, very successful. And I think, remember that time and place and that experience, and ask yourself, you know, what were the steps that you did for you to get to that excited moment? Because I think, like I said, it'll probably apply to when you meet your person. And with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, So here's the advice as well. The advice is it's not about the money. So and sometimes I can tell group 2, for some of us, we depend on our success by how much money we attain, right? Or how much time we spend on something. So some of you guys may be procrastinators. But think of it this way, because I'm also, hi, hello. I also like to wait really, really long before I do something. Sadly. But honestly, I take my time. I try not to force myself, because the moment I force myself, I don't even enjoy it. So take your time. There's no rush. The only person that you are against, the person you are versus, is against yourself, right? And you just have to remind yourself, like, how much do you want something and how much do you love something? And at the end of the day, anything that you put your mind into will always have some frustrations and problems. So you might as well learn to love the process, right? So that's the thing. So moving into a new educational space, make sure it's something you genuinely enjoy doing, right? And keep in mind, it's going to have its own faults. It's going to have its own problems, frustrations, and that's okay, because you can't avoid that. I know that sounds really depressing, but that's life. You can't avoid that. So what can you depend on is how much do you want to do this? That's why one of the biggest advices earlier was that you should pick a hobby, right? And you don't necessarily need to stick to it, but you need something to entertain yourself, because it seems like you're really giving up on life, right? And your person might be in a place where they're trying to already relearn that process from a different experience, right? Yours is a very like physical, energetic, active kind of like movement, motivation of education. And for them, it's like internal education, spiritual. It's a really good balance between like a like a twin flame relationship. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's a touchy subject for me to talk about in general. And that's coming from a person who prays and worships Aphrodite. Group number 2. I know. Anyway, the Lovers in reverse is finding a balance, right? So once again, when it came to the things you love to pursue, the success was balanced off of how much money or how much success based on how much time and effort, and getting frustrated that at yourself for not putting in the time and effort. So the balance is, how can you figure out a way to meditate or calm yourself or find peace in the moment. Honestly, that's the key word, is trying to find peace in the moment, even if you didn't do the work today. So one of the things that I do to at least start, for example, and I love giving this example because I try to make content, you know what I mean? And one of the things is like, you know what, I don't want to record the full video, so maybe I'll just like record the intro. And the moment I start recording the intro to the video, I just start doing the whole process. So I would give that as an example for you guys too. Like, just think about the smallest kind of like action you can take to the career like setting or the new goal or the new educational like thing that you want to pursue. Just do the bare minimum, and then honestly, like I said, if you have interest in it, if we do the bare minimum, you find ways to continue to keep doing it. Like I said, like I was just like, I'll just do the intro video, and then I'm basically doing the whole video now. So, and take your time. There's no rush. Literally, be happy in the moment. Have some peace of mind in the moment. Not everything is stressful. You don't need to make your hobby or something that you want to be passionate in as stress, because I guarantee a lot of the things in your present life is already stressful, and you pursuing a career path or goal or a hobby shouldn't be one of them, right? It should be something that you enjoy. Not necessarily it's going to be stress-free, but something you enjoy regardless of the stress or frustrations it may present, right? So balance with the Lovers, because the Lovers is in reverse, which means there's an imbalance between action and also being able to have a moment of peace. And I mentioned meditation before. You don't necessarily need to do meditation, but like breath work, grounding, those types of practices, because sometimes group 2, you might be flying. Ooh, I hit my lighting a little bit. But sometimes we might be flying off into distances that like in scenarios that hasn't happened yet. So try not to do that. Also, you deserve rest, right? It's not always about work. You do also need to learn how to have fun, right? I was mentioning earlier, boredom. You need to learn to enjoy life too. It can't just be all about work, right? And that's going to be really important when you meet your person, because that could be something that might be, because you guys are in a place that is very sensitive, and putting that in a position where you're already meeting your new person and then you're also worrying about that, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. So don't take everything too seriously. You're going to be fine. One of the advices, once again, is enjoy your time and effort, and your success isn't always measured by money. Sometimes the success is just being able to do it, because procrastination sucks. And the moment you actually do it, learn to be very grateful and proud of yourself when you do that stuff, and like celebrate those moments. All right, so let's see what may be in store for you and your person, and or for those who are in a relationship. What is the Hermit was also in group number 1's reading, but but theirs was right side up. Yours is in reverse. It came in reverse. And then we have the 5 of Cups, and then we have the 2 of Wands come in, and then we have 2 more cards to pick out. Ooh, ooh, okay. I was talking about success earlier. And then we got the 6 of Wands, which is literally the victory card. Ooh, boy. Oh, wait, when the heck did I get this card? I guess that's the last card. That's funny. Okay, well, there we go. We got the 8 of... I was like, when did that drop? I didn't even see that. Okay, so for what's upcoming for the relationship moving forward once you guys actually meet, or for the couples out there. So I'm going to do the singles first. So I like going towards the major arcana. So we're going to start from the 8 of Swords, right? And then we have the 6 of Wands. That's such a good sign. And then we have the 2 of Wands. Look at that, looking forward to the future. Ooh. And then we have the 5 of Cups. I was talking about gratitude. And then the Hermit in reverse. Interesting. That means new knowledge unfold has been presented. I read reversals completely differently, just to let you guys know in general. I see the value of every card. Reverse or not reversed. I don't know why that took so long to say, but anyway, 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords makes a lot of sense in the journey moving forward, just because I was mentioning earlier that you guys might be both coming from a place of like chaotic times, right? And 8 of Swords is probably when you guys are trying to tell each other that you guys are trying to actually encourage each other, which is really, really good. My biggest my biggest advice for both of you, and for you particularly, when you start to hang around this person and or your relationship, is that you guys are not alone, right? You guys are not limited to your own mind. You don't need to, you are enough. And 8 of Swords talks about like self-restrictions because you feel like you can't do it, but honestly you can. You can put anything you put your mind to, all right? Which means you can free yourself out of this situation as easy as 1, 2, 3. Whatever situation you put yourself into, you can get yourself out, literally. And the proof of that is the 6 of Wands. The 6 of Wands is the card of victory, success, talking about success stories. That's another thing you guys should talk about, is your wins. don't always talk about the depressing things in life. Like, that's such a Debbie Downer. Like, I understand so much shit happened to both of you guys, but you also need to celebrate your victories and successes, your gratitude, which is really gonna be coming up further into the relationship. Is gratitude. Gratitude is something you guys really need to express, because you both need to hear it, and you guys both deserve it, honestly, because you guys work so hard and you've been through a lot, both of you, and you guys just need to remember to thank each other's presence, to thank each other's like space, their company, and also they're just being their genuine self, honestly. But yeah, Six of Wands is coming from a place like, don't just focus on sharing the traumas, but also sharing your successes and celebrating your successes together. Two of Wands is when you start doing this with your partner or your person who's coming up for you, you guys are going to start looking forward to the future. The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about getting excited for what the future may bring, even though you may not know what it is. Because one of my mentors who taught me tarot, another thing about the Two of Wands is it's too soon to know. However, there is a path laid out for you that is starting to bloom. Like these flowers, it's starting to bloom and blossom. So what I love to say to you guys is, once you meet this person, when you start to celebrate your successes and gratitudes, you guys are both going to start to look forward into the future. Not necessarily for each other, but individually. Like, you're going to start being so encouraged to want to pursue your new path, your new careers, your new hobbies, just anything. It doesn't even have to be that. I feel like you're just going to look forward to life, and you're going to enjoy the presence of being in the moment, which is really, really awesome. And then moving forward, Five of Cups is still doubling down with the Eight of Swords. Is whenever things bring you guys down, remind each other how much you guys have so much gratitude for each other, about the little things. Like, for example, remember to thank each other, like, oh, you opened that door for me, you're the best, thank you. And learning to flirt without having to use appearance. So for example, like, your presence is like sunshine to me. Your personality is something that I know will always bring me up. Like, oh wait, that sounded kind of... All right, moving on. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, group number 2. You know what I mean. But yeah, gratitude. Remember to be thankful for the little things and the moments of each other's presence. And also, like, I think hugs are really going to be really, really important in your guys' relationship. And that's funny because I know some of you guys are like, ha! Touching, hugging is not my thing. Well, guess what? It seems like it's gonna be really, really important moving forward in this relationship. And I mentioned earlier, like, for some of you guys, this is gonna be 3 months in. Like, after you see this group number 2, it might be, if it's not happening now, it's gonna be 3 months after you watch this. But like, I feel like your sense of touch, platonically, all right, it doesn't have to go that way as well, will start to become really comfortable because of acceptance, or accepting yourself and having better self-awareness and comfortability in that. So, but yeah, hugs is a really good one moving forward too. And then we have the Hermit in reverse. So the Hermit, when it's right side up, is someone who's going through a journey alone and self-discovery. When it's in reverse, it's time for the Hermit to come down the mountain, because they want to share their knowledge to the world, or anybody who feels like they need to know. So, you know how I was mentioning to you guys earlier that you guys are most likely going to come from a place of learning? Well, it seems like moving forward with this relationship, people are going to start learning from you guys. Your energy and presence together, you've learned so much from each other that it seems like your new relationships of either friendships, families, and just random people you meet are going to learn a lot from you both because of this relationship. And that's really fucking awesome. Like, your guys, oh my goodness, like, I'm sorry I keep saying like too. The moment I start doing that is because, like, fudge, I keep saying it. But It's because it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You guys are gonna come from a place where you guys are the student, and then at some point you guys are gonna feel like you guys are mentors. And people are gonna want to actually know like what the frick you guys went through to get to a place of love, compassion, and understanding, which is freaking awesome. Whew. But yeah, there you go. That is your reading group number 2. I hope that was helpful, valuable. If that reading, obviously you don't have to, but if that reading really resonated and you feel like, holy blah, 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 I need more, check out my socials down below and check out my website. I do have other readings, private readings. I have healing services as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you ended up here. And for that, I thank you for this blessing. I hope and pray you learned something new and valuable with us. And overall, I hope you enjoy your stay here. Bye. Peace. Group number 3. Group number 3. Hello, group number 3. Welcome in. Welcome in. This is your reading. What's upcoming for you guys in love? Let's check it out. Go ahead and shuffle the cards. All right. Ooh. For the most part, how this is going to work, because I kind of do this differently. I'm going to see your present situation where you guys may currently be at. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean right now, but it could be like when you start meeting your person. This may be the present situation that happens, that indicates when you guys are meeting them as well, and what's upcoming for that. So we're gonna see what those present situations are. Ooh, group number 3. We got some interesting cards coming up. I love the vibe of your person. Okay. So real quick, these 2 cards on the left is going to represent how you will be presented or where you may be at during the time of meeting your person. And then vice versa, these 2 other cards are going to be your person during that time. All right, so we have the 2 of Wands in reverse. 2 of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Ooh, and I love showing you guys off the major arcanas because they look freaking fabulous. If I start cussing in this video, just know that I'm sure you noticed I beep I beep them out because, you know, they're fun, they're hilarious. Okay, and then for your person, this is going to be they have the Justice card. So I love the fact that both of you guys have major arcanas. So the Justice card, and they have the 2 of Pentacles. Dude, not only do you guys have 2 major arcanas, you guys both have 2s. You have 2 of Wands in reverse, and then your person has 2 of Pentacles. Now, how this is also going to work too in the reading is I'm going to talk about the singles only, and then I'll switch it up with those of you guys who are watching. If you guys are in a relationship or in a couple or be about to be in a relationship, I'll switch to that and what that may mean for you. But anyway, for my singles out there, where you presently are, when you're about to meet your person, is a 2 of Wands in reverse and then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So what I'm seeing here is that you might be really confused as to where you want to go career-wise or path-wise. Your path working seems like it's been at a halt, or you may feel stagnant in energy and you just lost the passion to want to do anything for your future. And the Wheel of Fortune feels like you have to make changes that you don't necessarily want to make. So why am I saying that? Because the Wheel of Fortune also talks about routines and structure, aside from it being like, because the Wheel of Fortune also talks about being lucky, right? Or about lucky in finances, but it's in reverse. And I don't necessarily think this is about finances. I think this is about like losing the joy of what you're currently doing right now, which means you do need to have a routine shift, a routine change. the routine that you're currently on and the path you're currently on is just not working for you anymore. Not that it's not working, which is really great, which means, because the Wheel of Fortune is still present, which means the routine that you're on is actually probably stable. But the problem, or not necessarily a big problem, is the issue at hand for you technically is you're not enjoying it anymore. You're definitely not enjoying the current routine that you may be on, or the path that you may be on, and you want to seek something different and new. So that is where you may be at when you are about to meet your new relationship, or currently with your relationship. But for the singles out there, but that is a really big indicator that you're starting to really want to make a difference or a big change. One of the things that popped up in my head right now is considering volunteering for something. One of the things that I was thinking of is either volunteering to work at an animal shelter or anything involving just animals in general. I feel like animals will be such a good companion for you. If you've been thinking of not donating, well, if you want to donate to animals, you should do that. What I was trying to say is, if you've been wanting to adopt a pet, you should definitely consider. And if you don't necessarily have, if you feel like, oh, you don't necessarily have all the full resources, then consider being a foster parent. Because I feel like group number 3, you might be in a position to be able to do that. And that would be really, really cool. Even if you do it for like a few months, you don't necessarily need to do it for a very long period of time, but you really do need a different shift, something that will spark joy and spark help. Not necessarily because you need help, but I feel like you may want the experience of helping others from a genuine place that might spark an interest in where you might be currently at. Because like I said, I don't think your current routine is a bad one. I just think you're bored of it. Like you're tired, or not even just bored. I just feel like you're tired of your present routine. Not that it's a bad one. Like I said, I think you've gotten to a place where it's actually really, really good. It's just, there's a deep feeling where it's just you're not seeing a future and moving forward in this any longer. So that's where you might be at. So how is that going to kind of like pop up for your partner? So during that time, your partner is the Justice card and the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles is probably, they're very similar to where your routine is kind of like you want to change your routine. For them, they want to change career paths. The other thing about the Two of Pentacles is also moving or traveling. So they might want to move to a new location, and they're actually in the process of moving when they meet you. So Two of Pentacles, like I've mentioned, is either they want to move. It doesn't necessarily have to be career either. It could also be new schools, just schools, locations, new places of education, but traveling and moving to a different place in general, or buying something new, and they're trying to decide to buy what. And what's interesting is Justice. So the purposes of moving might be because they might have had a for a lot, once again, I'm talking about the singles here, like singles only, like your person might be moving from a really bad and toxic relationship, not necessarily relationship, but the toxic environment. And they've been they need a new change, or their roommates were just not the best. By roommates, I mean, it could also be family, friends, or even they weren't even just friends. It was just roommates that were convenient at the time. Justice could also be they felt wronged and they just don't feel comfortable living in the space that they were at the time, and they need to travel to somewhere new. Right, with the Two of Pentacles. Justice, I'm getting a vibe where they might be doing something like legal, not necessarily because this is a little complicated, because I feel like some of the group too may align to this, where their person might be coming from a legal argument, or like they went through something like a contract. It might, and it's in their favor. not that it's a bad thing. Like the justice is right side up, which means that something about them doing a contract is working out for them. So that's why the move, or they're considering new options, new movements, new places to relocate, because a contract or a deal like broke even or went well. The word broke even really popped in, but I just feel like something really, really good popped in for them in legal terms, or with a contract, or they got approved for something. So they're trying to figure out if they should move or not, and they're really having struggling with that concept. And so that's when I feel like you guys are going to start meeting each other, your person, which is kind of cool because they're at a place where there's a really big blessing coming their way, or it already did. And now they're just struggling, like, should I move? Like, how should I move forward with this blessing? So they're kind of like, they're being very, very, what's this word? They're having a lot of boundaries, or no, not boundaries. They're having a lot of limitation, mental limitation. They're limiting themselves on what they should do with their blessing that may have popped up for them. So like, I feel like the contract may have been like an approval for a new house, a home, an apartment is a big one that I was hearing. And another thing is either a car as well, like a car deal, something like that. And they're just trying to figure out what to buy or which one to get. They're at a good place, honestly. It's just the struggle of like, where should I put my eggs? Like, should I put my eggs in one basket, or should I put it in like two baskets? You know that reference? I feel like that's the mentality that's happening with your person. And then for the couples out there, you may be in a place where you guys just aren't liking your routines anymore, and you guys need something new. You might have lost a little bit of spark. And honestly, that stuff happens when you start settling down, group number 3. So all you gotta do is, when's the last time you guys went on a date? When's the last time you actually enjoyed the date? And when's the last time it was just you two, right? Without any other distractions other than just you two, right? And then if there's anything that's been bothering you guys on like different changes, like even redecorating the home could be really helpful together if you guys do it together, is what I'm hearing too, group number 3, for those of you guys who are already in a relationship or about to be in a relationship. Redecorating together or revisiting that would be really, really helpful. And also, oh, that's going to be a little tough, but it's definitely a conversation for a lot of the couples out there, is how to figure out your finances together if you guys plan on moving in, or getting married for some of you guys. Wow, group number 3. But don't take it too seriously, because I feel like it's too early in the game to really take it down a path of like all seriousness. I feel like for the most part, your partner, whoever your partner is, recently came across a really huge blessing in life through legality, or even just some kind of contract. And it's just like, now they're like, okay, this is too much information to handle. I don't know what to do with that. And it's going to be really helpful on the change that may be coming for you, on the changes you may need. Jesus, words. Words. But yeah, because your routine, so my advice for the couples out there who like where they're at because it feels safe, you might be kind of like second guessing yourself, right? With the 2 of Wands, second guessing yourself if you want to go in the same path as your partner. I'm going to say take the risk, because you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune, like I said, in reverse, is telling you like it's time to take a risk and make a change in your routine, because it seems like your future is involved in this, right? It's the future. The 2 of Wands is the future card and talks about wanting to look forward in your future. And right now, it seems like you feel like the present is just so bleak. And I feel like this will actually be a good turnaround for you guys if you are in a relationship already. Like figuring out like what different changes you want to make together. And like I said, I feel like this has to either involve either the home or like a car. I keep hearing automobile or like mobile, something that encourages some type of travel. So for some of you guys, maybe it's like if you decided to want to buy some camping gear and trying to figure out what camping gear you want. But like an automobile is something I keep hearing, which is really funny. But that's what you guys, those are the present situations that may be happening during that time for your love coming in or current present love life. Let's see what we can learn from the past, like what you might have done in the past that could be really useful in this reading for the advice when you guys do meet. Ooh, okay. So this card popped up for group number 2, but it popped up in the future, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But it popped up for you guys in the past, so that's really, really cool. So let's see what other cards is helpful and advice when you guys meet. The Star card. Oh, okay. You guys have a lot of major arcanas. It's really cool. Okay, so somewhere in your past, both of you guys, either you or your person, and for the couples out there, both of you guys, there have been a time where you guys were finding a lot of hope in life, and coming from a place of just self-awareness has been really kicking in for both of you. When was the last time, like the first time you became super self-aware of like, I know this is my boundary, I know this was my trauma, and you've started to learn to heal and grow from the experience, and the last time you remembered, I used to be triggered by that, and now it doesn't trigger me as much. Okay, whatever memory you're getting right now is going to be really important moving forward with this relationship coming in and this love coming in for you. And then we have the 9 of Wands in reverse. So whatever success that you may have had in the past that had to deal with like growth work and success in healing work, and the recognition of when you were like so aware, like, oh yeah, I have shifted into a new and different version of myself. And that's like a case of, oh my gosh, I started to heal from this particular part of my life. And one of the instances about that part of the healing might have been overworking yourself or being a people pleaser, and learning to let that go. Because the 9 of Wands right side up is about like being content with the work that you've done. But when it's in reverse, it feels like you're overworking, not only for yourself, but for other people. And you really don't need to do that, right? So that's what I'm getting at. It's a place where you had this self-awareness of success, of healing from a triggered moment in your life, or like a really big one that you knew was a really big issue, but now you're starting to, I mean, you still make like, you may be making mistakes here and there, but you have recognized that, holy shit, I have been doing so much more better than I was like 20 years ago. I know some of you guys are probably like in your 20s, but like but like a few years ago. But yeah, it's overworking yourself. It's from a place where you knew that you were overworking yourself, and you would get triggered by like, can you do that for me too? Like, you can do that for me too, right? Like, you should be able to do that. And learning to and you're finally learning to say no. Like, anywhere in the past that happened to you, I feel like is going to be really valuable in the when you start to meet this person, because with all the routine changes that is being encouraged of you, and also with the decision making of the person coming into your life, one of the things that could be a very, very big advice is remember the moment when, and the awareness, the self-awareness when you made the improvement for yourself and you started to heal. Like, what was that thing that you did differently that could be applied to this situation? Right? Because it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be magical and will apply to helping you make a decision, right? That self-awareness in the past that helped you realize like, holy moly, I'm not triggered by that anymore. What happened there? what happened in that scenario that you can apply to when you meet this person. And for the couples out there, same thing applies. Like, whatever decisions you guys are trying to make. By the way, if you guys hear my dog, I'm just gonna say right now, this reading popping. My dog agrees. You guys hear? Yeah, my dog is pretty loud. Yeah, group number 3, here we go. I'm popping off. Like, apparently something in your past is going to really help you bring forth moving forward in the situation you may be currently at with this person that you're about to meet, or with your current partner, right? So with that being said, let's see what the future holds, or what may be how to move this relationship moving forward, like how to approach it moving forward. Whew, words. All right, what are some advice, or what are some things that may pop up? We have the Empress card. Okay, okay. Oh my god! What? We have the Empress and the Emperor. No freaking way. All right. Okay. Okay. And what's funny is I was talking about moving in, or like moving somewhere, and the Emperor's all about stability in a home or a space or their kingdom. Excuse me. Ooh, okay. Oh. Hold on. Let me just do that. But yeah, these cards are about how to move forward with this relationship once you guys do meet. Ooh, this one's sticking out to me. Ooh, okay. Letting go of certain boundaries. We got them. Okay. Group number 3. Once again, my dog is barking again, but like, group number 3, look at all the major arcanas you guys got. Holy macaroni. You guys got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You guys got 6 major arcanas. This is going to be this is a soulmate relationship. This is explosive relationship. Holy moly. Okay, so I want to go and end up at the Magician. So we're going to start with the Empress card. So the Empress is in reverse. Boom, bam, bam, bam. She's gorgeous. She's pretty. Woo! Fabulous energy. And then we got the Emperor. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Doom. The Emperor. And then we have the 5 of Wands. Ooh. The 5 of Wands. And then the 7 of Wands in reverse. Ooh, okay. And then the Magician. Let's go. Using all of your toolboxes. Okay, so what to look forward to in this relationship, upcoming or your present relationship that you may be in. We have the Empress in reverse, which means don't smother each other. Don't smother each other. Don't be clingy. You guys both need space. All right? Yes, nurture each other, love each other, and get to know each other better, but don't smother each other, which means the thing with the Empress is when she's right side up, she's like, all right, I'm here to help you out. I'm here to give you all the love that you deserve, all the abundance you deserve. When she's in reverse, she's trying to tell you what to do because she feels like she knows what's right for you. We don't want to get to a place where that makes a lot of sense for you guys, group number 3, because you guys are both confused as to how you want to move forward because you are both feeling safe in your current present moment of your routines. You feel safe, so you're going to start telling each other, well, this is exactly what we need because this is how I got to this safety routine. What you guys both need is to learn to work with the flow. Don't try to tell each other what to do. You guys need to work with the flow, work in the of the motions, and then with the Emperor card, figure it out as it goes. Because it's going to be very new. You guys are going to start trying to make different routines in your life, and you guys are going to come through, like, there's going to be mistakes and frustrations, but make sure you don't take it out on each other. All right, like that's a really big one. Don't take it out on each other. Make sure that you guys are both you're both supporting each other from a place of like not only just emotionally, but also understanding that you guys both are quite different, but also that your situations could also be very, very different as well. But I love the fact that the Empress and the Emperor is here because they do, both of these cards make a kingdom. They make a safe space in a kingdom. The only thing with the Empress is, like I said, don't over smother each other. But the fact that they're both here present in how to move forward with the relationship means that you guys will come from a place of a new comfortability, of a new home and a new space. Even if you guys don't live together, even if for some of you guys who may not start to live together, I feel like you guys are going to find a new place in life where you become really, really, really comfortable in each other's space. And that might have been really hard for a lot of group number 3s because your space is really sacred. The reason why I know your space is really sacred is because the boundary card did pop up. The Seven of Wands to me is about my boundaries is sacred and I don't want nobody triggering me. Right? When it's in reverse, to me, it seems like you guys are starting to loosen up and letting go of certain boundaries because you feel safe in each other's presence, right? Not taking too, because sometimes our boundaries are like up our butts. It's too far up our butts and we don't want to make an exception for certain things, which is fine. Boundaries are sacred. I totally understand that. But sometimes we take it too seriously and we not only hurt our yeah, it's just, I know some of you guys know, like some of our boundaries can get, we get triggered. And when we get triggered, you know, there's still a place of hurt when it comes to that. So just when you're having a safe boundary, don't get so triggered that it also affects a relationship to a high degree, even especially if you actually care for this person. But what I'm seeing here is that you're starting to learn to let go of your shields when you start getting along with this person and your current partner as well, which is actually really, really awesome, which comes from a place of Five of Wands is about learning to have healthy. In general, Five of Wands is having arguments, and you will start to understand, which is funny because Empress and Emperors, they technically aren't really meant for each other. I've always felt like the Empress is more like, if the Empress really wanted to get married, they would start dating the Fool because they're so spontaneous and they want to explore everything. And I feel like the Emperor or the Empress would want to do that. And then the Emperor is just here like a stick up their butt too, like, this place is sacred. I'm not moving for anything. But here they're starting to learn that. So that means this relationship will come with some type of arguments, but I don't think they're going to last that long. But they are going to be from a place where you guys start to learn to understand, like, oh, we probably shouldn't be so triggered about that. We should probably let go of certain things. And that's the biggest thing you guys are going to learn from each other is that don't take certain things too seriously, because then you realize how ridiculous they are. And I think you guys are going to laugh about it eventually. And the reason why I know you guys are going to laugh about it eventually is because the Magician card. The Magician is about manifesting the things you both desire. With these, I feel like these arguments are really healthy. They are really like turning points in both your guys' life, both as individuals and as a relationship budding, like budding, by budding, I mean like flowering. And I don't know for a lot of the singles out there that you guys are going to be in a relationship yet, but you're starting to get to that point where you want to be in a relationship, and the healthy arguments that come along the way is going to manifest a lot of what you all both desire individually, which is really, really cool. Also with the Five of Wands, I'm kind of getting a sense that a lot of group number 3 might be considering open relationships. I don't know if that's a thing, but I'm getting a sense like I think group number 3, if you guys, and why the boundary thing also popped up, if you guys are, also for those couples, like for those who already are in a relationship, have a healthy conversation about like polyamory. Please research it. Like, It's not just about like whose pants I can get in, because that's not how that works, right? Like if polyamory or like open relationships are starting to be a conversation you guys want to consider, please do it in a healthy manner and do your research together. A lot of open relationships depends on having better communication and learning to have a better like understanding. Like your needs might not always be met with the person that you're currently with, and that's okay. And that open relationships can bring in new potential of other needs that could be met with another person. But like I said, if for a lot of group number 3, if you're at that position, not everybody, because like I said, this is a general reading, but I am getting a sense that some of group number 3, if you guys are considering open relationships or polyamory, it's okay. Please do your research. Don't just do it to feel like I can get in everybody's pants, because that's not how that works. Like I said, it's not all about that. It's about doing your research and learning how to communicate better and learning how to express your boundaries in a more healthier way with not only each other, but with multiple people. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys, group number 3. That was your reading. I hope that was helpful. And for those of you guys who enjoyed the reading, if you feel like you're called to get a private reading from me, or like an even more detailed reading, you can reference this reading if you want. Please check out my links down below, especially my website, where I also have healing services in there as well. Also, if you want to find me in other platforms, a link down below as well. And yeah, thank you so much. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you ended up here. And for that, I thank you for this blessing. I hope and pray you learned something new and valuable with us. And overall, I hope you enjoy your stay here. I will see you guys next time in another video. Love you. Bye.